Gabagooly, what's up?
How you doing? How you doing?
Chillin'. A lot of things happened.
Sorry, 1 second.
Are you good?
You're gonna kiss it as well?
I
Yeah,
just might.
get under it and kiss it, bro.
Yeah, get under the front bumper and kiss it.
Yeah, look away. She's shy. All right.
So
All
what have
right.
you
How you doing?
heard about recent events?
I'll be honest with you, Gabagooly. Though he knows, I told him about our
Okay.
conversation the other day, but he's the only one, and I trust him. I trust him fully. He's my right hand man. He won't say shit to anybody.
Okay. Okay. I'm fine with that. It's okay. I'm gonna be
So
honest.
he knows the
Yeah.
he knows the rundown of what we had a conversation about.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. From my side, the trail's getting cold. No announcements have been going out in PD meetings. Nobody's saying anything. I haven't really heard much about races getting spiked. I mean, it just went cold. I haven't heard anything, to be honest.
We've had major developments on our side.
Okay.
So to start, last night, around 10 p.m. Eastern Los Santos, a race happened. It was a race that starts down by Vespucci. It goes on a long straight right off rip. As cops were alerted to that, they determined which way the cars were facing, as which way the track goes, and they spiked the first straight, the entire race. They didn't spike one person. They did only spike one person in the end. They only got one person spiked, but they laid down spikes across the entire track right on the first straight. And
This
then
is
throughout
on
that
lap
track,
1 or lap 2?
on lap 1, on the first straight, not even at the
Okay.
first corner. They hadn't even cornered yet.
Did you even know that the
So,
police were there?
I wasn't at the race. This is just hearsay. It wasn't us that was at it. It was just a bunch of random crewless racers, but very trusted racers. I've known them for a long time, but that was their report. Is that first straight, first lap before the first corner, spike strips across the entire road.
But did they know that the police was even there up until the spikes? Like, did the police tell them to stop? You know, was there
I don't
any
believe
police
so.
presence?
I'm not totally sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I didn't get that from them. But throughout that race, 3 more times, there was a cop that would sit in a bush, have his cruiser hidden, and just spike a corner. In the end, the spikes were avoided for the most part, except the first spikes on the first straight did get somebody, but that person was fine. They didn't end up getting caught or anything.
Did they try to chase him?
No, they didn't try to chase him. They spiked him and left him.
Did they chase anybody?
To my knowledge, yes. They were chasing and trying to spike corners blindly, like hiding in bushes, like just rat shit, pretty much.
Yeah, but like, was anybody even mobile trying to get, chase a spiked person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the person that got spiked, but they were chasing the race.
Right.
And then immediately after, a B-class race happened. Tinker was on it. I assume he was the scene lead. They were spiking during that race as well, and one of the racers got rammed into a wall by Tinker, pinned into the wall, car disabled. He had a foot bail. He ended up getting away. He got picked up by somebody, but it's just a lot of aggression, like really fast. We had a meeting with the racers. Monkey, you were kind of the lead of that meeting. I'll let you speak on that.
Yeah. So we just did a big race. We had a meeting beforehand with I think it was there 21 of us. I think there was in total. Before I even got any words out, obviously what you said the other day about trying to keep things peaceful for a few days, I kind of mentioned that. I didn't say, obviously, I didn't mention names or anything like that. I just said that I'm spoke to someone. I'm trying to need to keep shit peaceful for at least like 4 to 5 days now. As soon as I even mentioned, but before we even started the conversation, really, people were already talking about cops and spikes.
And shooting the cops.
And there was multiple people saying they are ready to shoot already. Mainly because of what happened yesterday. I don't know. Like I said, I did again. reiterated to them. I said, I just need you guys to try and keep it peaceful for the next 3 to 4 days while my guy does what he needs to do. I did say to them that, you know, don't not retaliate if you want to. If you want to retaliate, retaliate. I can't force them not to retaliate. I just told them if you can, keep it to a minimum, just avoid shooting. Let's maybe do what we did the other day, just hold a cop up, take their spike strips or something like that. Just something, I know that's major to you guys, but to us, that's probably the lightest thing we could do.
They when we told them about what we did, they seemed to really like that, and we're kind of like, oh yeah, like that's a good idea. So we're hoping it doesn't resort to, if this happens in the future and there's a high aggression, it doesn't resort to shooting. You keep going, Monkey. I kind of cut you off.
But like we said, soon before we even really started the meeting, I said, does anybody have anything they want to talk about? Anything they need to get off their chest? Anything like that? As soon as I said that, the first thing I hear is cops. One of the guys literally just shouting, cops. Need to deal with cops. That was like, we had no input on like etiquette of racing. We had no input on anything else. The only thing that people were bringing up were the cops and spiking.
All right. So look, I'm gonna be completely honest. From where I'm sitting, I'm fighting a T-Rex with a stick. I've spoken with command. I've spoken with the SIU, which is essentially non-existent, and whatever existence they did have, they just got completely trumped by command members who, you know, they don't specialize in driving. They're really not around. They chase like 2 races a fucking week. They think races are like little unicorns that happen, you know, twice a week. Essentially, unfortunately, they're out of touch, and they don't seem to comprehend that. And there's no budging. I'm doing everything I can, but essentially, no one really gives a fuck. Is just the reality.
Then they're not gonna give a fuck until we retaliate. This is what I told you the other day. Like, if it continues happening, the way it's happening, like Dowie said, first lap, first straight, not even a turn. Like, that's just unnecessary.
So that yeah, that do you have any names for me?
I told you that if we need to retaliate, we will. I'm trying to stop people from doing it right now until if you can try and figure something out. But I mean, for example, when we had this issue a few years back, I mean, we had Hell Week, and I know you guys don't like that. We don't like that. Nobody likes that. But once we had that Hell Week, we got spoken to by command, and they told us, all right, we're not going to be spiking the race anymore. And ever since that point, I don't think we ever had any spikes thrown down during races. So if we have to go down that route again, yeah, if we have to go down that route again, it will happen.
So
that's something they need to realize, that if they want to go down this route, or if they don't care, they're just going to keep doing it, then we will up our aggression, we will retaliate higher, and it will just end up in the shit show like it did last time, which nobody likes.
Let me ask real quick before I forget. So, do you know anybody that was involved in yesterday's shit show that there was spiking lap 1?
Tinker being one from what?
Tinker was in the second one. I want to say he was probably in the first one, but there's no confirmation. I was not able to get any names from the person that was spiked.
Okay. See if you get anybody else's name from that. Even a description could help. That's the most important thing for me at this point, because yeah, that's got to be addressed. Look, if we're spiking you, it has to come from something. Look, I can't. I gotta warn you first. I gotta say, hey, stop fucking racing. That's illegal. And if you keep going, then yeah, I spike you. But to out of nowhere, out of the fucking blue, spike you, that's just not how that works. So if you can get me a name in that sense, or a description, that would be great. And one thing I want you to keep in mind is, look, you can be as powerful as you want with a gun and, you know, complete violence, right? Whatever it is. I also want you to remember that you can have more power if you find out that a cop is breaking SOPs. You can cause way more damage by chasing that up as opposed to, you know, blasting them and victimizing the cop. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
so in situations like yesterday, you know, there is leg room there for you to go to somebody and say this fucking cop broke SOPs and that, you know, that has to be addressed.
Yeah, but we don't
That's
know we don't know your SOPs.
well, I know you don't know the SOPs, but like it's just it's common. That one's obvious. You don't have to know SOPs to know. I was driving in a straight fucking line. I got spiked. No warning, no nothing. That's one thing. I know you don't know SOPs, and I mean, I don't know if you can get the SOPs tee up with a lawyer. I don't know if that's possible. I'm not sure, but that's one thing. And then the other thing is, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm not gonna waste your time. I feel helpless in the matter. I have a completely selfish point of view in this situation, and I'm just gonna admit it. I like chasing races. I don't enjoy chasing people that can't drive. You know, I gotta do it. It's my job. But the time that I'm having the most fun is chasing races. So this whole thing is selfish for me because this is fucking up my fucking chases that I truly enjoy the most. But I gotta kind of spade a spade, and I'm fighting a losing battle. And I'm wasting your time, and I'm fucking preaching to the choir on the other side. So, you know, I knew I said I would try help, and I knew I asked for time to figure it out, but um, I
Basically,
just
you're
have to
talking to a
admit,
brick wall.
I have to admit it. You know, I'm defeated, and I don't think there's anything I can do. I'm helpless in this situation. Nobody's listening to me. The people that do, they don't have any power, and everybody else seems to disagree, and that's it. That's it. They go to one race a week, they spike it, and you know that's how they see. But you know, don't tell me about what you're gonna do and your plans. I don't want to know any of that shit. The one thing I will say is that there has to be some sort of, you know, I don't know, like there has to be reason and a very clear understanding of why things are happening. You know
Well,
what I
look,
mean?
I mean, you don't want to know. The first thing that comes to my mind, I'm just gonna tell you. All right, I'll be honest. It's not gonna be violent. The first thing that's gonna happen, this will be the stepping stone to anything else, unless something changes, is I will get every racer to hold up every single cop that they see in the city and take their spy strips from them and give them to me, or keep them and use them. That'll be stepping stone number one. I will tell every racer, if you see a cop on their own or in a place where you can just hold them up, take their spy strips, that's what's going to happen. Every single set of spy strips you guys have, they're going to get taken and they're going to be used against you. That's stepping stone one. Anything after that, obviously, I'll keep to up. We'll figure that out when it comes to it. So I don't know if you want to let Command know if they're willing to listen to that. It will literally be that. We will get everybody to take every set of spy strips from everybody on jury.
I mean, yeah. Since I know it, I do have to push it up. That
Tell them that is stepping stone one that will happen.
Okay. I'll pass that along. Again, the only thing that I can really fucking exaggerate with this is people have to understand why it's happening to them. You know, there has to be there has to be a very clear memo sent, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's not cowboy shit. You know, hands where I can fucking see him. You know, you suck. It's you spike races. This is what happens.
Yeah,
This
the message will be sent when they do it. They will let the officer know this is why I'm taking your spike strips, and then hopefully that will get through to whoever it needs to get through to, and maybe we can have a conversation with someone about it. Because it will happen until something changes or we get a chance to speak to you guys about it.
Yo, what's up?
Higher
Appreciate
ups.
the big raid, my man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, you doing what you're doing, Gabagooly,
Hope you had a
is
good
not
stream.
loud enough. There's got to be something, you know.
Yeah, no, and trust me, I tried. There was
Wait,
no shortage of effort from my end. It's just it was falling on deaf ears. One thing I will say though, from here on out, I do not want to know about anything. And anything I do find out, you know, I mean, if I see it, I gotta arrest you, and whatever I find out is gonna get documented. Um, so
well, that's
yeah,
something I want you to know that because, like I said, that's what's gonna happen. We're not gonna take. I'm gonna inform everybody else. If they take, I don't want them taking anything else. It's only the spike strips. They're not gonna take guns. They're not gonna hurt the officer. They're not gonna do anything. All they're gonna do is take the spikes.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna pass that along. You're not gonna hear back from me on what the response is, and the same is going for you. So whatever you guys do, I don't want to know. And however my conversations go with command, I can't tell you about it, since
Of course.
the direction
Alright.
this is going in. Again, I'm disappointed in the whole situation. I mean, you know what my stance is, but at the end of the day, I gotta follow orders
Like I
and
told you the
do
other
my
day,
job.
if the way that I saw it going was you speak to commands are going to sit there and go, well, you're telling me that these guys aren't retaliating, you're telling me these guys are peaceful, then why don't we just keep doing it? Because they're not retaliating. Like, it's gonna end up in us having to retaliate to get a message to go through.
Right.
Us taking the spikes the other day was a minimal, like, retaliation. We gave them back to you. We proved our point, but shit's still happening. So we got to step it up. So it'll be every racer will be informed by me, by us, to take every set of spike strips from cops if this continues to happen. And it won't stop. We get a sit down with whoever we need to sit down with.
Okay. Okay, and as long as you're open,
or they tell us that they're gonna stop. Either or.
I got you. Okay. As long as you're open with some sort of conversation with
We're
them.
open to sit down and talk to them.
If that day
100%.
does come and I don't know if it will, I mean, I'm gonna ask to make it happen, but just be prepared to have a list of things that you want and compromises that you're willing to make, and whatever the case may be. Essentially, just be ready for the conversation if it does come.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good.
It was fun, Gabagooly. Thanks for trying, dog.
All right. Sorry about this, gentlemen.
Have a good one.
Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eyes, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. And Maui's trying to take my wife away.
They be trying to take my life away.
Many men,
Many men.
many men.